Representative Tracy Kraft-Tharp is here today to talk with us, and we just finished talking with the students from Arvada West High School and Golden High School.
So amazing, so inspirational.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the idea that what these students are doing and that they organized it themselves and they put it together. Mm-hmm. You know, Tracy, just some thoughts on, you know, what you know is going around the country and what here in Colorado. Anything that you wanted to kind of comment about that?
So listening to these students talk about, you know, sitting in the classroom and having to be afraid of any noise, I mean, doesn't that just break your heart?
Did you hear what Emmy said? She said she doesn't know a world without gun violence or violence in schools. That means that she was born probably or before Columbine, so she doesn't know schools used to be safe havens, and now they are no longer seen that way.
So it just brought tears to my eyes when I heard her say that, because I mean, it's so sad to think that that's the world, that's the environment that you've grown up in. You don't know anything else. But then to see these students, you know, say, stop, we want to make a difference. And to actually start doing things to make it different. I mean, it's so inspirational. It makes you just want to get out there and, you know, we can all make change. We can all make a difference.
Well, I really hope all of our Jeffco community comes out tonight to the event that Emmy and Jeffco Students for Change have been planning at the NAC. But, you know, Tracy, what got you from social work and serving our community all the way down to Colfax as a legislator? What inspired you to take that step?
So such an interesting question. You know, I never thought that I would be, you know, in front of the cameras. I never thought that I would be in politics. I was always the person behind the scenes working on policy my whole life. When I was a social worker, I actually was a family therapist. Yes. Right, it worked at
Is that good training for being in the legislature?
You know what? It really is. It really is, and on so many different levels. But it really helps you view change on a bigger level. So how can you make change on that bigger level? So really the leap from doing family therapy to being in the legislature is not that much of a gigantic leap.
Oh, great to know. But so, you know, I was wondering though, you know, there's so many, like I said before, sexy bills, and then there's things that need to get done, and I think you are both. But what's some legislation that someone in the community could say, okay, look at it and be like, oh, Tracy Kraft-Tharp did that for me, or made that easier for me, or my business, or my community? Is there a piece of legislation that you think we know it's all around us?
So right now we have in place a crisis system with our mental health center. So we have a system where we have mobile units that are going out to help people. We have a hotline that's helping people. We have a 24-hour.
Sorry, guys, we can't hear you.
Oh.
And I said such brilliant things,
I know.
too. Yes. So in 2013, we started the crisis system, where we do mobile units. We have a hotline. We have a 24-hour place where people can go when they need help. I sponsored that bill in 2013.
Is it just a crisis network?
Right, yes.
Wow,
yes.
Across the state?
Across the state,
wow.
Right. So I sponsored that bill in 2013. Was very proud to do so. So hope people would think of me. However, one of my biggest non-sexy things is I have really been interested in sales tax. So Colorado has one of the most convoluted, complicated sales tax systems. So we have about 750 sales tax jurisdictions. So if you're a small business, it can take you hours and hours to figure out who do I remit my sales tax to, how much, where. I mean, it's a mess.
That sounds like a mess that you'd like to solve and take care of.
It's a mess, and I'm working on solving it.
That's excellent. So, you know, we just realized that the legislature, the session for this year is half over already.
It is.
And it just feels like there's so much work to do out there. I know I have a couple of key things on my mind, but are there a couple of key pieces of legislation that you think are really need to happen or need to get done this session?
So let me say three. The third one is one you're gonna
you think
the
I'm
one on
thinking
your
about?
mind. Yes,
okay, go
yes.
ahead. You go first.
But the other two is number one is transportation. Mm-hmm. We have got to figure out what we're going to do to solve our transportation problems, especially as we're moving into pothole season.
Got it.
Right. That's number one.
Roads.
Number two, PERA.
Yes, and that's a very challenging, complex issue.
It is. It is. The first bill dropped this week, was heard in committee yesterday. It's not one that I'm supporting, but it's starting the conversation. And the third one is
what?
Education.
Yes.
Yay.
That
yes.
superintendent's bill.
superintendent's bill, not only the superintendent's bill, but a broader around what do we do?
True.
How are we keeping our schools safe?
Yes.
How are we making sure we have quality education?
Excellent.
How are we funding education?
I love all of that, including the other things you mentioned are so critical for all of Colorado.
Right.
You know, Tracy Kraft-Tharp, thank you so much for all you do each and every day down at the Capitol. It's a tough job, and we appreciate you doing it on our behalf. And thank you. And then you'll have a town hall this weekend. Is there a town hall happening?
There is a town hall this weekend, Covenant Village, 10:30 to 12 o'clock. We're talking about PERA.
On Saturday.
We're talking about pros and cons, different reform measures of PERA, but be there early because it's going to be packed.
It's going to be a big session. Thank you. Representative Tracy Kraft-Tharp again, everybody.
Thank
you for
you.
your time.